Good evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
And I'm SumGuy NamedJamie.
And you're watching Examining Cinema. So, we watched Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Yes.
Stupid title.
It's a bit cumbersome. It's not sleek and clean.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, with extreme difficulty.
No, it's just I really did think you would enjoy this movie, seeing as you are a Patrick Stewart fan.
Oh yeah, well Patrick Stewart is one of the immensely well executed elements, but it's Studio Ghibli, so yeah, it's fucking...
It's bound to be good.
Yeah, the animation, the sound design, the music, which we'll get into later, but...
I'm going to point out before people get mad though, like, it's pre-Ghibli.
Yeah, okay, true. Just as a preface, I'm not an anime guy, grew up in the 90s, so Dragon Ball Z, I really like Princess Mononoke. But yeah, there are Ghost in the Shell. Like, there's a few animes I really liked, but as a genre, I never got sucked into that entire genre. Yeah, I was kind of on the outskirts, just seeing some of the stuff.
I think it's me more forcing you into...
Oh yeah, well no, it's good to expand your horizons and do something different. Otherwise I'd just be doing Star Trek. Every episode of Star Trek till I die. But yeah, so it's pretty Ghibli, and this was kind of the catalyst to pull the studio together, from what I read. Yeah,
well, he really was wanting to push Nausicaa, but they weren't keen on it.
Yeah.
That's why he went.
He shopped it around to a bunch of studios.
They're just like, fuck off, we don't want
nobody would sell it. Who is this guy? Miyazaki. Nausicaa went, nah, this would never be big, this is crap.
What is this shit?
And yeah, he made a manga which picked up steam.
Yeah, it actually got quite popular in Japan, so...
Yeah, then he managed to make the film off the back of that success. Yeah. Some of the hand-drawn backgrounds and stuff. When was this, like 84?
Yeah, it was pre-85. Like a lot of the animation, like in this movie, like a lot of Studio Ghibli, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Before this, like it's a really soft style of anime. Everything was very sharp and edgy.
Yeah, the character design is really like basic and simplistic, and it works beautifully.
Yeah, it gives like a really kind of like dreamy tone to the movies, which you don't get from a lot of anime.
A lot of the tone is very like airy-fairy, atmospheric, dreamy too. There's a lot of points where the pacing just completely slows down.
It will just snap to like a really slow point.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of Studio Ghibli though. Like it's just one of their things. If you're gonna watch a Studio Ghibli movie, you have to be prepared for like it to go from like a really intense kind of like emotional scene to just a real silent kind of just passing the time.
I can dig it. I like that real slow, atmospheric type of stuff. Like in particular with Nausicaa and who's Shia LaBeouf's character? Oh mate.
Shit guy that doesn't matter.
We'll put his name up here with the dings
right there.
Ding. They find this little area beneath the ground, and it all kind of slows down and show a lot of stagnant shots of the environment with like real minimalistic sound design.
Has like a real cathedral kind of vibe to it, like with the real arching roofs. It's really noticeable. Like, so a movie's really gonna have that, or they're not. So you got. I've noticed a lot of international movies, so stuff not coming out of America, tends to do it a lot more.
Yeah, I feel like Americans need to move faster and quicker.
Everything's really like instant gratification.
Hey sir, my phone and my watch.
I need my fix.
Sitting down watching a movie.
Yeah,
let's go watch Transformers.
I don't know, they really have a different pace to your average movie. So like watching a Studio Ghibli movie, you know you're possibly going to fall asleep. It's bound to happen at least 50% of the time. Yeah,
that's fine. There are some rather upbeat and action-orientated moments too, all the plane stuff, which is really great.
Yeah, you can really see Miyazaki's like love for aircraft. Like he has to push it in everything.
Yeah, he grew up like it was during World War II. I remember I told this whole story. There's a documentary, I forget what it's called, but his family like buzzing around while all this shit was going on. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, obviously. So all that World War II stuff is just like embedded in his brain, which makes sense. There's a lot of analogies for nuclear war in this film as well. It's a post-apocalyptic setting.
The Tolmekians, like you can really tell that they do seem to have like an undertone of We're America.
Yeah. They rock up and they're all like gun-toady and aggressive.
The Tolmekian ships, which they board other ships, the smaller ones.
Yeah.
They're really heavily based off like your American bombers from World War II.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real big chunky, they just don't look like they should fly.
I really like the art design for them. Yeah, they're not aerodynamic whatsoever. You couldn't get them off the ground. But just the detailing and like the panel work and all the texture is
so
oh my god,
intricate. Like, you can just tell like he wants those airplanes to like be a standout feature of the movie, like something you're going to.
That's his thing. So yeah, let's talk about the music, because a lot of people aren't down with the music. They seem to think it's a horribly negative aspect of the film.
Yeah, it's quite black and white when it comes to that. Like you're either gonna love it or you're not. So like with every Studio Ghibli movie, you got to expect that there's gonna be that real orchestral kind of like music.
There are some great moments with sitar, which are almost psychedelic.
Yeah, like on that verge of just being a real trippy kind of vibe.
Yeah.
With Nausicaa, like being pre-Ghibli, and it's like real set in that 80s synth kind of area.
Yeah, there's moments with the bugs in particular where it kicks into like a 80s Nintendo style drum and bass moment.
Yeah, like it's only a couple minutes into the movie, but you're really gonna know if you like it or not when that first ohm kind of busts out.
Yeah,
you get into that real synth kind of like.
I definitely don't know why people would just outright hate it. I mean, it sticks out and it kind of dates the film. The film is like fucking 30 years old now, and it could have been made yesterday. Like, in a lot of ways, it's completely timeless. The animation and the narrative arc of like your archetypical hero's journey, it's all timeless. And then the music is kind of like 80s. We're in the 80s.
It really knocks you out. Like, I think it's personally, I take it as on the fact that like, I think it's supposed to kind of remind you that like you're not in the past. This is a post-apocalyptic world. Like they're in a technologically advanced age. It's kind of back where they're like now resorting to swords and shit.
They've gone back in a way because of the nuclear fallout.
Like they've kind of regressed as a civilization. So like you kind of got that tone of like, oh hey, this is still a futuristic sci-fi movie. Like, oh, this is like a nature-ish kind of fantasy.
That could have been their intent, actually. That makes sense.
Like it really pushes that sci-fi vibe home. Like once you hear that synth drum and like kind of that synth noise hitting, it's like you're like, oh okay, this is a technological.
This is the future, but now it's just dated. It's 30 years ago, and music software has evolved and changed immensely. Another thing, just kind of emasculating, because I can't grow a nice mustache.
The mustache.
Who are Nausicaa's people?
I can't remember if they have a name, but I know they're from the Valley of the Wind.
The people of the Valley of the Wind. We'll put their tribe up here with the name of the people.
It's up there.
Ding! Editing.
I'm assuming that they just have a fetish for beards, because
it's either like something in the water or it's just genetics, and they're just like the most immensely thick and luxurious mustaches that the world has ever seen.
Should we just put in like a quick compilation of
mustaches? We could put a thick and lush mustache compilation in right here. Yeah, we could.
今宵はまた異国の話を聞かせてください。良いのを送らせてもらうよ。丈夫というなら姫様は俺が見つけじゃ。だが深い遊びまでにいると困るぞ。どうだユパ。そろそろこの谷。なのにどこへ行っても戦に飢える。
Patrick Stewart's character in particular, he has this fucking mustache which just covers like half his face and hangs down here.
I will admit though, like being his first role dubbing a Japanese film into English, he definitely lucked out. Having to not see his mouth ever, so like,
No lip syncing.
Yeah,
You
like,
just see a little wiggle of the mustache.
just a mustache thing, like, oh shit, he's talking now, I better just do something. A lot of the other characters, yeah, like they're very forced to.
Yeah,
to
I've done lip syncing before at TAFE, and it is quite tedious.
What are you doing here? This chamber is filled with toxic plants.
I find a certain liberty that comes with doing voiceovers, that you have an image to work from. There are already indications of what someone will look like. So therefore, the interesting thing is to find the voice that matches those images.
Don't worry about that. Our only concern is that the warriors stay dormant.
Also, we have Mark Hamill in here. We have Uma Thurman. We already mentioned Shia LaBeouf pre freak out meltdown.
Do it!
Midlife crisis.
Yeah, it was actually like quite early in this. I think it may have even been, the English redub may have even been before his work in like Holes.
Yeah, I remember Holes from back in the day.
Yeah, when he was really getting into like his childish kind of like movies.
Yeah.
Before, you know, danced half naked with that. You can see his film.
Yeah. Do it! Yeah! And he set up that.
Went crazy.
Yeah, went off the edge.
Wore a bag on his head.
Yeah, doing all the John Lennon stuff. John Lennon did it, and people were like, yeah, it's fine. And then LaBeouf does it, like, oh, this guy's crazy.
To be fair though, like, if I get famous, that's how I want to go.
Oh, I'll definitely just crack into like a big bag of cocaine and go off the rails.
I just want to just crash and burn.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
So yeah, the English dub, I've not actually watched the Japanese version.
To be fair, like, it's one of the only Studio Ghibli movies where you can really get away with watching the English dub, just because it's such an intense cast.
Yeah.
Just high profile characters. Like you just
Edward James Olmos too, of Blade Runner fame.
Yeah, like it's just like a lot of dubs you'll notice, like you'll go from a Japanese and it's very, very good, like the tone of their voice, everything fits, and you come to an English dub and like it just doesn't transfer. And
yeah.
Like some animes, like you'll have like a very feminine voice for a female, and then it'll turn to like a southwestern cowboy, and it's like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It'll just destroy an entire story. So like.
Yeah, but they outsourced the English dub to Disney, right? So it's like top notch, A-list.
Even as well as they did with Nausicaa, there is like still a lot of differences between the English and the Japanese one, just in the tone of the film.
Yeah,
and, like the way people come across. Like if you ever sit down and watch it, you'll notice it, but it's not detrimental to the point where you won't be able to sit down and enjoy it the same way. Like it's one of the movies where I'll go watch this one in English rather than Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Stewart, Mark Hamill, Uma Thurman.
Yeah, like it's not often you're going to get such a massive cast.
Yeah.
But what should we do? Surrender and become the slaves of the Tolmekians?
Rather than sort of a gritty, hard-edged, villainous kind of, stereotyped villainous voice, they wanted me to be more warm, which I think is wonderful because the conflict is always set in motion by the so-called villains.
That's basically the other reason I wanted to get you to sit down and watch it. Because like there's a lot of characters in there, like Uma Thurman and Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it's
like,
kind
they're
of
all really big characters to movies you like. So
it's weird. Patrick Stewart of Star Trek, Mark Hamill of Star Wars, Uma Thurman of Tarantino.
Yeah, like in a
the fuck. Edward James Olmos of Blade Runner, Shia LaBeouf of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
The best of the lot.
I mean, it's definitely better than Raiders, but Raiders was a piece of. No, I can't even say that as a joke. Raiders was a masterpiece. With Nausicaa's character, am I pronouncing that right?
Nausicaa.
Nausicaa.
I think it just comes down to where you're from, really. Like, you're Australian.
Nausicaa. Sounds like she's narcissistic. It's like a narcissistic car.
Yeah, I don't know if it transfers, like if they call her the same in Japanese.
Probably not, I suppose.
I really don't pay
different
attention to anything.
No, I'm an ignorant Westerner. I was like,
we're
what's
not
this
racist.
A foreign film? I don't have to read words on the screen, do I? This isn't a book, it's a movie. But yeah, her character is kind of like the archetypal hero. She goes through this journey and she gets to the end. There were a lot of moments like where the significance and importance of her character was just a bit too much for me.
Yeah, it's you can really tell where it's it's Miyazaki's like first attempt at his like, I want a pivotal female character, and like you can really tell that like that's the direction he's going to.
Maybe he was pushing it 10% more than he should have though.
Like he's never done it really before to that extent. Like sure, he's written it in a manga, but like when you bring something across onto a video format,
it's a different format.
Yeah, like so there's a voice, there's like emotion to it. Like with a scene in like a manga, you've got two scenes. And you can fill in the blanks. Like with a movie, you're very set, and it's got to be that way. So.
Yeah, there's certain formats and
stuff. Yeah, I think like after Castle in the Sky. And like a few more, so Grave of the Fireflies, like he started to really sink into like his characters, like what kind of thing he likes to push. It will usually tend to be like your strong, independent female. Yeah, which is fine and works beautifully in Mononoke and Spirited Away. There are two moments in particular when Uma Thurman's character is raiding for like the onslaught of the war. Yeah. And like all these ohms, these giant monstrous bugs are like coming towards him. It's like, should we unleash warfare now? She's like, nah, we should wait for the princess. We'll just wait around.
So why? And then
this is completely different to what your character would normally do.
Yeah, this makes no logical sense. And then what's Patrick Stewart's character's name?
Lord Yupa.
Lord Yupa. There's a moment where Nausicaa has gone off on her adventure. And it's just like, oh, let's go and find her rather than like protect the valley from the spores and the incoming invasion.
Out and just risks his own life.
I mean, she is the princess and she is important, but like the townspeople where she's from, like all their ideology just revolves around her. It's like, what are we gonna do? We'll wait for Nausicaa. She'll solve everything.
That's like
and she does in the end.
Lord Yupa physically watched like troops tell that fucking stroke victim. The plane crashed, like she was fucking dead. Like
it's like
no belief to believe that she was alive. It's like I'm gonna go anyway. Like, I'm gonna leave everyone here who's dumb as fuck by themselves.
But she does at the end transcend this like myth and legend.
Yeah.
And saves them all.
I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, the film kind of ends as like an oncoming wave of attackers. They have that god emperor melty guy, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the giant warrior. I will admit, like that was one of the only things that like really got me into the movie was the giant warrior. Like, not only did like its design really push old mate to his role in Evangelion, like he
went on to do that.
Yeah, like it was just so different to what people are used to.
Yeah, the design is really amazing.
Yeah, just the melting, just like the way that like there's the flash when it goes off. There's like a little flick. The gut bits, and then there's just like that millisecond between like pop and then just bang. It's just
another like clear nuclear war analogy.
Yeah, like, and you can really see in that one moment, like when he designed that, like you could just tell, like this dude, you can tell he was the guy who designed Evangelion.
Yeah, and he was at the point before that like a nobody who came into Miyazaki. Like, threw something on his desk. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like he literally just walked up to him and was like, here's my fucking shit.
Looked through his drawer and said, oh yeah, no, alright, you can design the end fucking third act of this new feature film.
Like the big crazy fucking thing, like that's yours.
Yeah, you put all my faith in you and pay it off beautifully.
Yeah, and it just fucking...
Which is great.
So, what was your opinion on like the buttons themselves?
I mean, as well as the airships are textured beautifully in the detail and how they move and everything, and the idea of the eyes being blue or red.
Yeah, depending on like their kind of mood.
Yeah, it's really simplistic but really effective for how the narrative functions. And it reminded me of Starship Troopers a bit at the end.
Yeah.
Like the waves of the bugs. Like
pouring in.
Yeah, how fucked up and scary bugs are. We don't think about it a lot because they're tiny little things that we just squash.
Yeah, that scene where the ohm and it's like a very low view.
Oh, the one with
and
like
the feet crawling in.
Yeah,
like that is just fucking terrifying. Like,
yeah, it is.
Just knowing that was coming at you, you just feel like,
fucked.
I'm fucked, man. Like,
Yeah, so the whole fucking bug thing works beautifully, the design and the idea that they've mutated after the nuclear fallout, I guess,
Yeah.
grown bigger.
It's cool too because they don't always come across as like just a straight up fucking visceral enemy. Like they're just like say you walked into the bush,
Yeah.
you like came across something, you know, like it's just defending itself sort of thing. Like
This whole like an environmental aspect to it where like he's praising nature and saying nature is good. Nausicaa's character, she's like this whole backstory, which has always befriended these horrible creatures and like horse whispered them into peaceful actions.
Yeah, like she's the only one who hasn't taken like a view a book by its cover kind of approach.
Yeah, and then at the end, after she saves the day and fulfills the prophecy, like it's like all the people seem to come to the conclusion that these aren't vicious monsters. They're just understood.
They're like more of a
Misunderstood.
defensive sort of thing.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like if you punched a hornet's nest. It's
Yeah.
gonna fucking maul you to death. Like
Well, it's like a bear, you know. Bears are fucking horribly vicious creatures, but they're also
they're just going about their day.
they're animals.
I will admit, like there's the one scene where the Tolmekian ship crashes, and then she's like calming it's like a grasshopper.
Yeah, she goes in like a spinning course.
She gets in, so that real hypnotic kind of noise, and like it's like that real slow build up, and then like she throws it, and like it takes off.
Yeah.
And it's like that calming, like I'm taking you home kind of
Yeah.
thing. I don't know what it was, but just that one scene, that one bug just like really got me with the movie. Just like, it's just something like that. You just tell like every little aspect, just down to like each tooth on the bug, everything was just designed in a way where like
Hand
nothing was
drawn
left
by
to
like
chance.
yeah.
Like the bit we noticed with the Nausicaa's shells.
Oh yeah, she has
It's
like
a star.
3 shells on each side of her
And
chest.
she fires the flare towards Lord Yupa.
Yeah.
And then like the next scene,
It's missing.
It's missing. And, like this continuity that like doesn't.
Yeah,
usually
it's just
happen.
like they cared. There's a scene in that film about Miyazaki's last film where he's talking to one of the animators about this character's sad walk off, and he's like, "She just walk outside like not like a this, but like a this." And like he acts out how her like shoulders should move and the emotion and stuff to this animator's like hand drawing all this stuff at her desk and goes on, and then he walks off and she's like, "Oh, that's very hard. Like, I don't know how I deal with
What the
that."
fuck am I doing?
Yeah, and you can just tell like that everyone involved cared and just put like maximum effort in.
Yeah, like it's just crazy. Like every time you see Miyazaki behind the scenes or like an interview, he is just so dedicated.
Yeah, well,
getting his image right.
Absolutely. Well, by the end, the last film he was like fucking 87 or something. And that documentary I keep on bringing up, they're following him home because basically his life is his work. He's saying he works like 6 fucking days a week.
Oh, he is just
14 hours.
non-stop.
And then I think he had a wife who died or something. But basically, like, his life is nothing. His life is his work. And he takes you home to his home, and he's like an 8-year-old man. He lives all alone. He's got no family. He's got no pets.
Studio Ghibli has completely consumed his life. Like he, in a way, I view it as like he gave up
his
part
life.
of his life to like create
this immensely well executed pieces of art. Just admirable and sad at the same time.
It's horrible. I think that's similar with like most true like real dedicated artists. Like people who really like they have a vision. Like this is what I want exactly.
Like Van
how I
Gogh
want.
sitting at home freaking out on syphilis.
Cutting off his fucking ear
sending
and
it to a prosy just painting,
like,
doing nothing else.
Like they will do whatever it takes. Like even with his movies, like in say that documentary you were talking about where it shows him like going through the process of writing storyboards. And he'll just instantly change. Like I don't like this anymore. I want this. I want this. And then
knows exactly what he wants.
Yeah, and it happens all the way through production. Like his animators have to scramble.
And they do.
But that's the point. That they're willing to do it because they know at the end of the day he puts out beautiful work.
Something special.
I'm yet to see a Miyazaki. That's good stuff. Yet to see a Miyazaki film where he hasn't fulfilled.
Well, he hasn't at any point just dropped the ball and be like, this one will do, and like just pushed out something average
for the sake of putting
thing.
out. Everything he puts out is like got a piece of his heart in it. Like
absolutely. I remember a Tarantino interview, and they were like, "Oh, would you ever be interested in doing like a biopic and telling your story in film?" And he's like, "Oh, well, you know, everything I do, there are elements of characters that are biotopical. But he was like one day maybe it'd be worth telling the story of like the 50-year-old man who has no wife and kids, who never went to that effort to raise a family and just make films.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's really deep, man. That's horribly deep.
Yeah, it's true when you think about it though, like the amount of effort some people must go through to like just even when you look at Nausicaa, just Spirited Away, like Grave of the Fireflies, like the amount of like push that someone has to have emotionally to make these succeed. Like he had to have like a serious investment. Like I love this story. Like I need this to work. And it's like
take like a certain kind of person and just all their drive and energy is for this one artistic output. And then like, every other aspect of their life is just fallen to the wayside.
Yeah, exactly. And especially coming like off the back end of nuclear war in Japan. It's a very depressing sort of attitude. Like to see some of the stuff he comes out with, like obviously Grave of the Fireflies is like you haven't seen it. We'll watch that one.
Alright, we can do a review on that.
You'll see Alex cry. But yeah, like it's that one is a very like hard kind of movie to watch. Like, and it really kind of shows like the time he was in. Made these movies, which kind of like really puts it in perspective. Like Nausicaa's like really out there.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it was only like what 30, 40 years before that, like nuked to fuck. Like
I mean, the cultural impact of some disaster of that significance is just it's leached all through Japanese culture, like Godzilla and shit.
Yeah, it's like they really didn't want to push a lot of his movies.
Yeah, because it was still fresh wound.
Yeah, like it was a very depressing attitude. Like people weren't interested in that. Like,
they wanted to escape and move on and not think about the horrors and the fucking horrors.
That's why he pushed Grave of the Fireflies, because they were like, we want something that people can relate to. It's like fantasy. So
well, all his work is very positive and uplifting and has like an anti-war message and an environmental message.
It's a very, very high pacifist kind of.
Definitely. Within all of his films that I've seen, there's like a direct anti-war mentality.
Yeah.
He's not straight up just like, this is war. War is dark and brutal.
It's more so like, I think he comes across as like, he hates conflict. There's always, in his movies, there's always some sort of conflict where it isn't necessarily evil, where there's like one horrible person or horrible entity trying to destroy another one. It's always like, everybody has their reasons. Like, this is why I need to do this. But like, they're trying to justify it even though it may not coincide with the main character. So like, you constantly always like, oh, I don't like this person, but like I understand where they're coming from. So you get more of a human aspect than the average like, oh, I'm here to kill
good and
bad
evil
guy. Yeah, like just a throwaway bad person.
Yeah, that's absolutely the themes within this movie. There's like the 3 different tribes of people. And it's not like you have the good people and the evil people. There's like these 3 different groups and they all have different views and ideologies surrounding their beliefs.
Well, that's like, you've got the hardcore pacifists, which are the
Valley of the Wind
Valley of the Wind, then you've got the Pedgites, which they just want to kind of stay where they are, not kind of like, they're hoarding the great warrior, like underground, don't want to mess with the forest, don't want to fuck with anyone. And you got the Tomicians, which are like, personally, I think they're clearly meant to represent America.
I can see that.
Like they're really war-driven. Like that first scene, I don't know if you want to put some in.
I'll
like,
put some in where they rock up.
We're here in peace, like.
With tanks and planes. But none of those 3 groups of humans, or even the bugs, as we discussed, are like villainized. Like, this is the antagonist. This is who we hate.
Because like at first, the bugs appear very violent. As you get to learn more, they come across as like a real we realize that the world is toxic and we're like stopping the spread. Like, so they're more so like a defensive
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
a guardian kind of thing. I don't really know how to see it. Like they're not necessarily out for people to survive, but they're just trying to not make the world worse.
Yeah, they're just like bugs doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like Ents in like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like nature, the power of nature.
Yeah, like
it's grandiose and it's powerful and it can be dangerous, but it's also beautiful.
They're not technically like, we're gonna like help you or like not help you.
They're just doing their own thing.
Yeah, like they're on the long term, like we just need the world to survive.
Yeah.
Rather than like we want people to survive.
Absolutely. I always like those stories with like ambiguity around mentality. It's just so much more depth and you can delve into it and talk about how interesting it is. If you take like, you know, Popeye and Pluto, it's like Pluto's bad, Popeye's good.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it.
And it's like, you know, you got your blue one, but it's like with Nausicaa, you can pick anyone.
And
so you can
discuss how they are, how they feel, why they act, how they act.
You could take Nausicaa's side, you could take like the Tolmekian side, like wanting to destroy the forest and like bring back humanity.
Yeah,
you
that's
go,
reasonable.
Like, oh, the Pengites, like they just want to
be left alone.
Yeah, they just want to stay out of it. And then you've got like the bugs. You could take their side, like, oh, they're getting fucked around.
Yeah,
they're not trying to do anything. They're just bugs. Like they don't know any better. So like, there's no real enemy. Like you can feel sorry for every side of the movie. So like you just kind of, it's more of just a clusterfuck of like.
Definitely.
いいえ、父はまだまだだって。
そうそう、こいつのことをすっかり忘れておった。
キツネリス、私初めて。
こいつがハムシにさらわれたのを人のこと間違えてな、つい銃を使ってしまったのだ。
それであんなにオウムが怒ったのね。
World and the mythos and the tone and everything built up is very rich.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's a little piece of a much larger puzzle.
Yeah, like you're not just seeing a story, you're seeing like a section of a world.
Yeah, oh yeah, the world that's built up is immensely well executed and so dense and thick and living and thriving.
Yeah, I think that's part of the thing that like makes Miyazaki's films like so good is that just like, even if you're not focusing on part of the story, like any of his films, you can just pick like one scene, one character, and like you could just imagine like this person's got a whole life, like there's something that went on before this scene, there's stuff going on after this scene, like, and you just don't get that with most movies today. Like you're not interested in
world building has just disappeared from
like you can see a background character, oh they're fodder, like they're meant to die. But with Miyazaki, like even just a background character for like I think he's Mito. He plays a few scenes like in helping Nausicaa back to the Valley of the Wind and that. Like he's not technically a main character.
Yeah.
But like you feel interested in like hoping he
survives.
Like it's something that you want.
Yeah, Miyazaki's never made a sequel though.
I don't think he's ever made or somewhat. There's The Cat Returns.
Okay.
I think it is like on one of the special features we watched there. Did you see it's like a cat man?
Oh yeah, it was like in like a bebop and suit with the big hat.
I think it's
and the cane.
I think it's I can't remember the movie off the top of my head.
Yeah.
He plays a small role, and like I think she sees a statue of him.
Oh, in a different film.
Yeah, in a shop or something.
Yeah.
And like I think he got so much attention, or people liked the character so much that they made a second one, that they made The Cat Returns, and it's like a fantasy, like that cat kind of character. And it's like a magical. I have to admit I haven't seen The Cat Returns.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think that may be
the only sequel.
And it's not technically a sequel, as in like it doesn't follow on that story. It just goes
in the same world.
Yeah, we're going to elaborate on this cat guy.
Like,
So like.
Yeah, think about like Spirited Away and Mononoke and this. It's like there's so much in there to just pump out sequel after sequel, and he refuses to do it.
I feel that's like part of his success.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when you watch,
it's like the Solo movie. When you start exploring the origins of this character, it's like I didn't want to see this. I don't need to see this.
I was gonna say, like,
mystery. is a good thing for the imagination.
Exactly, like if you know that character, say like Han Solo, you don't know his backstory.
But you don't need to.
Yeah, you can go
It's
like,
in there, it's in the main character in the main film.
there's enough there to get through what you need, and everything else your brain can kind of stick together.
And then what it does create is normally more interesting than whatever the studio will create.
Yeah, then they spit out a movie and you're like, oh, this doesn't live up to the standards of what I imagined that character to be going through.
Absolutely.
Like even Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke or Nausicaa, even like when the Ohm leave, or even just before when she first meets Lord Yupa, like there's so much there, but I feel that's part of what
makes it special.
Yeah, what makes this movie so good is that they leave you with so many open-ended questions. They don't ruin the movie, but they necessarily make like, I want to know what happened to this character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm interested in knowing like the after story, or like the
it leaves you wanting more rather than being burnt out, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, and like you're not necessarily like leaving the like, oh, I'm done, I'm sweet, I know everything I need to know. Like you leave going like, ooh, I wonder what how the Valley of the Wind came to be.
Well, there's like the whole 1,000 years before where all the...
Yeah, like the giants, like they flash a few of the scenes at the start, like them walking through this.
It's like, I could easily watch like 8 hours a prequel for what happened, how the apocalypse happened, how these god emperor monsters were created.
Yeah, like the prior to the 1,000 years, or like after they've settled things with the Ohm, and like how the world progresses.
Yeah, how they build everything back together.
Like there's so much in the Studio Ghibli movie that like there's more technically like after the movie and before the movie than like is in the movie.
Yeah, which is great.
You're not only watching the movie, you're also imagining the world around the movie, and I feel like that's part of like what sucks me in to Studio Ghibli.
Absolutely.
Like, I want to know more.
It's crazy how he writes it too, because he doesn't sit down with the script and bash it out.
Yeah, there's no set
he storyboards like every frame, and that's how he writes it. And it takes him like 2 years.
Yeah, like he actually does it himself.
Yeah, sit down with a paper and pencil,
smashes it
and
out,
bash out this fucking narrative for 2 years.
And he's told like, hey, animated guy, like here's what you got to do. 2 weeks later, he's come back like, nah, fuck you, I've changed everything. Like, the new story, and they're just like, they're not going to disagree with him, because like every time he's done that in the past, he's consecutively put out good movies. Like. Yeah,
and there's something in seeing like one person's vision, especially when there's such an auteur and like a great creator. One person's vision. Especially when they are like such a great like creative person. You know, when you have the committee and the studio and the producers, it's like The Force Awakens very much.
Everything's
felt like it was like a group of bureaucrats cramming in all the
everything's got to have like we need to do this so we don't upset this person or something like that.
We need to show this demographic. We need to appease this demographic. We need to have this for these people.
Yeah, there's not enough female characters. Let's add this one or so on.
Yeah, but this feels like the vision of one man.
Yeah, Miyazaki. Like here's what I imagine. Here's my story. Created.
Yeah, and the studio set up around him just enables him to bash out his visions.
I think that like enabling Miyazaki to like do what he wants.
Oh yeah, just let him go, man.
Yeah, like it's just allowing him to be a fucking crazy cunt. Like.
Oh yeah, well the crazy pays off and everything. Like Spirited Away is fucking off the hook, fucking batshit crazy.
One of his most intense movies for like rechanging things was Spirited Away.
Yeah.
And in like, I don't even know how much money that movie made, but
like, it's still making
it's still making a lot
just
of
through
money.
merch and
to think like people spend so much time on like this has got to be exactly planned out. We need to do this. Can't reshoot
rather than
this.
finding a visionary and investing in that.
Yeah, and they're like they make a movie and it doesn't really do that well, or it does well but not amazingly. But this guy can just like spit out something, change it a million times.
It's like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and like every time he just spits out like a good movie.
His track record is impeccable.
I'm yet to find one I don't like. So.
Yeah, I've only just delved into this universe really, but I'm definitely very interested in watching.
Like, even going through the trailers in that documentary. It was like, you haven't seen that one, I want to see that one, I want to see that.
And I kind of know all of it through pop culture and stuff, but I haven't seen the actual films.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's just something about his movies, like you see it, just even 5 seconds, and you're like, shit, that looks cool. I want to see that. Like,
they're all different tones.
Yeah, but it's like in the span of a minute, it was like a pig man, a witch lady, some fat raccoons. Like,
yeah.
It's like there's just
And one's like action, one's like a drama about a middle-aged woman who's having a midlife crisis. The other one's like a war biopic. It's like
exactly. Like you can go from
genres.
Grave of the Fireflies to like Whisper of the Heart, and like they're two completely different movies. Yet they all fit. Like you can watch one of them and just not feel like, oh, I'm watching something completely different. Like, you know, this is a Studio Ghibli movie. Like, you just know you're going into it. Sick art style. You're gonna have emotions.
Absolutely.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree with all these dogs. Good punch. So yeah, in conclusion, obviously this film is executed in perfection.
Yeah,
the animation, the storyline.
I honestly can't fault it, to be honest. Like, it's one of those movies where like I can watch a million times. It doesn't get less interesting.
Oh no, not at all. There are like little nitpicky things you could dig out, but I don't even want to because it's just objectively a good film.
Yeah, like even the old lady smiling during like a sad scene. Like, not even that bothers me. Like it's just everything is perfect. Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's great, and now that I've discovered and analysed this, I want to delve deeper down into his catalogue.
Yeah, man, like I'm definitely keen to hit up some more Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, we can definitely start doing that.
As long as we can continue to pat dogs.
We can definitely pat dogs and review Ghibli. And if you would like to see two drunk Aussies pat dogs and review Ghibli, then please like and subscribe.
Hit that like button, cunt.
Yeah, bash that bell. Do you want to plug your channel, right?
Oh yeah, also hit up some guy named Jamie if you like crappy gaming videos.
Alright, cheers, cunts.
See ya.